right, welcome back. We'll see how much space we've got on my memory right now. For some reason, it's getting used up real fast today. Might be a message in there somewhere for somebody. But in any case, I feel like we were going down a storyline talking about this woman who was very out of it and exhausted and made a decision that she would never have made under normal circumstances because she wasn't fully present, conscious, and she made the decision, but it wasn't, she wasn't fully in her right mind. We were talking about allowing spirit and our intuition to to give it permission to take over when we ourselves feel like this avatar, this psyche, me right here, right now, is literally at the top of this hill with this boulder and my arms are gonna give out and I need assistance. Opening to assistance, asking for assistance, opening to messages and advice. But also something that's coming through for this new moon is very much like talk less, take more action. So we're gonna talk less, we're just gonna take more action. I already pulled all of the cards, okay? I've got 4 oracle cards and 4 themed tarot cards in relation to the Sagittarius New Moon. The one we're having specifically, if you're watching this in real time, is at the tail end of 2025, right? So for this card from the Trail Guide to the Body, I pulled this digastric card, which is a muscle of your face, of your jaw, something about speaking, something about identity, but also its action is to depress your jaw or swallow. So something might be hard for you to swallow right now. And then we got meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. Interesting that today is a new moon energy. Pisces is about closing things out. It's like the beginning and the end. It's kind of like a death energy. It's also the energy of spirit. But yeah, I'm definitely getting from this meditation, contemplation, is going to be beneficial for activating these Sagittarian themes in your life by going more into this Piscean mode of focusing on meditation and contemplation and not as much on analyzation and trying to fix things, right? It's sitting and observing without an agenda, and sometimes allowing your subconscious and different parts of you to digest and process what is going on there. But without an agenda, without an attempt to control the process, with a trust. We're leaning a lot into trust here. We have the white dog. Interesting. Yeah. Trust, loyalty to yourself. White. It's like purity, not focusing on being so self-protective, but on shining your light from the inside out. And this is from the Maya Astro Cards deck by Bianca Fenderson and Tanya Brock. And for this card, what it says in the guidebooks is love and loyalty, community, family, and wisdom of heart, warm-hearted, good-natured, and tolerant. Day. These days connect us, always in relation to the theme of the prevailing wave. With love for ourselves and our community, they connect us to our heart wisdom, which is never judgmental or condemning, but certainly evaluative. To evaluate something is to choose a heart wisdom within oneself, and that always serves the good of all. On the other hand, judging something is a decision of the judging ego and serves no one. White dog days thus make us realize that everything we do and think impacts the community. If you take care of yourself, you take care of everyone. Be the example of what the world needs: tolerance, love, and connection. Yeah, so very much vibes of living by example, leading by example, taking action. There may be some energy here about like over explaining yourself. right? Over explaining yourself. That's not really helping in this situation, right? There's so many pieces to this guidebook on the white dog. I don't think we're gonna get into all of it, but let's just see. The biggest challenge for white dogs is their own expectations. If they have not dealt with the reconciled the hurts of their past, and there are often many, as they are very emotional people and usually misunderstood as children. They are sadly not unconditional in giving their heart wisdom and love. They often react to what they see as wrong reactions and wrong actions of others with withdrawal, grumpiness, bitchiness, and also stubbornness because they take these things personally. Often it takes the other person's initiative for the white dog to get out of a dilemma of suffering. Only when the white dog realizes that the message of love primarily for them will they be able to see his calling as a fulfillment and not as a burden. Only when the white dog realizes that the message of love is primarily for them will they be able to see his calling as a fulfillment and not a burden. There's a typo in here. It's missing the is. Okay, so there may be something getting lost in translation here, and also something about a character like you or somebody else in your life. Different parts of yourself might reflect this as well. There may be this dog energy, right? It's like a lot of people think of it as positive in a lot of ways, and it is. But if you're just like this puppy that is reacting to everybody and everything else, it's kind of like this people-pleasing energy, right? And the way that this dog archetype levels up from this needy domesticated animal into like the loyal wolf dog kind of thing, to grow up and to integrate, to step out of these patterns of codependency and covert contracts and emotional manipulation and conscious and unconscious with yourself and other people. But it is only when the white dog realizes that the message of love is primarily for them, for you, or, you know, for this person you're dealing with, maybe. Yeah, it's really coming through is just the shadow of the white dog speaks to the need to develop self-love for the benefit of yourself and the community at large. It's the same thing. Right, okay. Then we have the Forest from the Archetypes deck by Kim Kranz. I'm getting The Forest by Mackenzie Madrone. If you want to look that up and listen there, might be relevant for you in some way. Also, something about a poem that I posted a while back on my Facebook. It's got like a picture of a dying rose on it. Maybe I'll link that somewhere in there. But in there, it's also talking about this imagery of a forest. And it relates to different people in different ways. I could tell I was channeling for a lot of different energies at the same time. So if you feel particularly called to find that and look into it, that might be useful for you. So I'm just going to read from the guidebook for this one, for the forest. Also, the woods, the thicket, the jungle. Consider for a moment your earliest memory of the forest. It's likely it included all the mythic dynamics of this archetypal space. Almost felt like there was too many it's in there, and it was missing an it over here. Maybe you need to move something from one place to another place, and it'll make more sense. Or like, replace one thing with another thing, replace one behavior with another behavior, replace one person with another person, replace one food with another food. might be helpful to you in finding clarity and moving forward. It's likely it included all the mythic dynamics of this archetypal space. A little fear, a little enchantment, perhaps losing your way, perhaps discovering a secret mystical treasure. Such is the magic of the forest. It requires first that you enter it, and then that you get lost within it. You may think there is a path to lead you straight through, but soon enough you'll be on what is known as the pathless path. There are tricksters here, dense foliage, and entanglement, but equally present are the glimmers of fairy light and friends among the trees. You're on an adventure now, and there's no turning back, so embrace the dim light and the moving shadows, whether literal or imaginal. Brave the forest, and get lost getting found. I'm not going to read all of the section because it's really long, but whoa. Yes. Get lost getting found. Again, engaging in your life, letting go of control, relaxing, quieting down, forest bathing. That could be a literal recommendation for some of y'all. I have a sense that that would be very beneficial to a lot of your nervous systems. 11:30 on the clock. We'll see if we get through all of these in the time I've got left. For the biblical tarot, I got the Emperor. So this is very much about coming into this masculine energy and like taking action and being self-assured and taking control of the things you can control, taking control of yourself, and developing that greater amount of stability. There's something about King Solomon in here also, since this is from the biblical tarot. King Solomon, there's so many elements that you could go into there, but I am seeing 2 owls. Owls may be significant for you. And in the guidebook, it says wisdom and discernment, authority and leadership, wealth and abundance, judgment and fairness, building and accomplishment. So these are the kind of energies that you're focused on right now, or that you would do well to focus more on, or that you would do well to value and seek out around you. Or it could be something about qualities that you need to nurture in yourself and seek out in love, career, friendship, etc. And then we also have Angelica, the sun that came out from the Herbal Tarot. When it came out, first the moon tried to come out, it flipped back over, it went back in the deck, and then the sun came out. So it's like we're moving from the moon energy into the sun energy. And usually the sun energy is like, people think of it as loud and demonstrative and intense and like that Martian go, go, go energy, which it can be. But the beauty of that electricity and that masculine energy being, I mean, some people could argue even the electricity is more Shakti and feminine. It's all, it's like I was talking about earlier, the full moon feels like the new moon and the new moon feels like the full moon the last couple of months. Everything's kind of integrating. And so it's hard to pick it apart and analyze it and understand it in this linear way. But if you allow yourself to relax and let go of that and not need that as much, there's something that can go on beyond your level of conscious awareness that digests and creates changes in you that you can see visibly, externally, in ways that make more sense, in ways that are more linear, in ways that are more literal. But you have to meditate, contemplate, you have to learn to love yourself, you have to find your sanctuary, your forest, you have to learn how to speak up and stand in your identity, but also not overdoing that and like being overly defensive and overly aggressive, trying to match that energy in something or somebody else, rather giving that to God and trusting and being loyal to spirit, being loyal to your spiritual practices that allow you to drop into a pre-verbal state. Yeah, usually this masculine energy with the sun and the emperor is going to be really, really linear and really direct, but it's this interesting merging of these two energies that is going to allow you to actually have this grounded strength, this real sense of grounded masculinity, whether you're male, female, whatever. Tarot is not about that. As they say, tarot has no gender. But it's like a King of Cups energy. It's like taking all of your emotional experiences and really holding space for them in a way that's like so grounded and solid. And how do you do that? You, especially when you're tired and confused, you lean into spirit, you lean into your higher self, you lean into your practice.